Hi, and welcome to the monthly video for November 2022. If you were watching the data storytelling with Vizlib Actions earlier this November, you would have seen the benefits of using the Vizlib Actions. But did you know that you don't have to limit yourself to just one action per object? You can stack actions and have complex processes executed without your user having to lift a finger. For example, a button press can have a chain of actions, such as setting a variable, followed by sending an email, exporting the data of a chart, and then opening a specific sheet. The Vizlib switch is a tool that has many capabilities. If you want to display different data depending on whether a value is above or below a target, then this is the tool for the job. Using the switch, you can control what is shown in the Qlik sheet depending on your variables. Simply add a variable, then 1 and 0 to the expression fields. In this example, I'm using the Vizlib container to display different information depending on if the data is good or poor.
The tiles table can now be used in horizontal mode. This allows new use cases, like for example using tiles as a very nice looking selection bar. Multiple rows are still possible, but note that in horizontal mode it is only possible to decide the height in number of rows and not by specifying pixels. Colors can now be set differently on individual objects in the toolbar in order to highlight or create more complex designs. Select the elements and choose to override the global settings. Pick a color and see how the background changes.
Setting the range and zoom of your Vizlib Gantt is easily done by going to Settings, Zoom and Range. Setting the range boundary is a surefire way to keep your users focused on the information that matters most. You'll have to populate two date fields, and this can be a static date or dynamic by using max or min expressions. But keeping the information relevant to now can be achieved by using the Today chart function, followed by a plus or minus and a number. This means your users will see events that are determined by your range boundaries.
Bulk edit is an excellent feature when you want to edit multiple records simultaneously. Imagine that John Davis dairy sales were accidentally recorded on John Gregg. To fix that, all I have to do is change one of the cells to change all the rows. I know that John Gregg sold yogurt during this time. To fix that, I can inactivate bulk edit on the column, click the paint bucket icon in the column header. This allows me to change a single value and correct the row. To configure a column with bulk edit, this is how you do it. Open up the column in the property panel and navigate to the bulk edit section. When you enable bulk editing, you have three options. Always active. Bulk edit is always active and users are not allowed to toggle it off. Toggle active. In this mode, the user can toggle between active or inactive by clicking the paint bucket icon. The initial state is active. Toggle inactive works the same as the previous mode, but the initial state is inactive. Bulk edit is not the only way to edit multiple records simultaneously. There's also the fill value feature, and you don't need bulk edit enabled on a column to use it. You simply right click a cell, and in the context menu, click on the fill value option. Fill above will fill all the cells above the current cell. Fill below will fill all the cells below the current cell. And fill all will fill all the cells in the column.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media.